Hello, welcome to Us Across the World. I'm Sharon.
And I'm Keith, and we're the recently retired couple travelling from Antarctica to New Orleans. And this video is going to talk about our journey and where we're going.
So the whole journey has been inspired by my mother-in-law buying me this scratch map. As you can see, we've done quite a bit already, but we still have a lot more to do. Antarctica, completely inspired. Look how big it is, even though we're only doing one tiny bit of it. But normally we say you have to stay there for a night, but it is Antarctica, so we get to walk on it. We're going to count that as scratching off the whole thing.
In the comments, you can decide. You can tell us whether or not we're right to scratch off the whole thing.
Yeah, does it have to be a whole night? Not really, I don't think. Anyway, so we are starting in a few hours from London Heathrow to Buenos Aires. We've got 2 nights in a hotel, and then we meet up with our cruise ship in the Sofitel in Buenos Aires, and we are flying down to Ushuaia with everyone from our boat. We're staying on the SH Vega, which is run by Swan Hernetic.
So we do our 10 days in Antarctica, and then we come back and we return back to Ushuaia. We are getting off the boat in Ushuaia.
Not getting the plane back.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to fly up to El Calafate, and we're also going to go to El Chartan to see the Patagonian sites on the Argentinian side. We then fly up to Bariloche, which is the Lake District part of Argentina. And then what we're going to do is fly to Encarnacion in Paraguay. Apologies for the Spanish accents, by the way, and the mispronunciations. There's a carnival which is supposed to rival Rio, so I'm very excited about that. And so we spend a few days in Encarnacion, and then we travel up to the Iguazu Falls, and
seeing it from both sides.
See it from both sides. We may then go to the wetlands, which the wetlands area of Argentina, or we may decide to go straight to Montevideo in Uruguay and spend a few days in Montevideo in Uruguay. From Montevideo, our intention is to fly over to Santiago to spend a few days in Santiago before going up to,
Yuli?
Oh, yeah. So
to see the 7th
I think it's
mountain.
Jujuy.
We may know in a few days.
So we may cross back over into
Argentina, and then it's Chile to the Atacama Desert.
Yeah. So we'll then go to after Santiago. Is that right? After Santiago, we'll go to Jujuy, and then we'll move to the Atacama Desert. We'll travel across into Bolivia
for the salt flats,
to see the salt flats, etc. We'll go to La Paz. We may or may not do the world's most dangerous cycle ride on Death Road, and we'll then move to Ecuador. We've been to Peru, so we've spent a few weeks in Peru previously. So we're going to fly over to Ecuador. Spend some time in Quito, and also hopefully get to the Galapagos and maybe get to the Amazon, the Amazon rainforest.
Staying in Amazon Lodge.
Yeah. Then after that, our intention is to go into Colombia. Obviously, there's quite a few places in Colombia that we'd like to go and see: Cartagena, Medellin, etc. Again, apologies for the Spanish pronunciation. Spend some time in Colombia, perhaps may even get our kids to come over and see us. But after that, we'll move into Central America, go to Panama. We've been to Costa Rica, as you may not be able to see on the video, but Costa Rica we've been to. So we're not going to Costa Rica, but we really want to go to Guatemala. We'd like to go to El Salvador. We'd like to go to Nicaragua. We'd like to go to Honduras.
Not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily in that order. And our intention is to end up in Belize, and to then fly across from Belize back to the States and to New Orleans. So that's the plan. We have already picked up a few tips and sort of things that we've stumbled over. in booking the journey so far.
Yeah,
We've
we've
booked
booked
about a
a month ahead, and yeah, there's been issues with flights. We've booked to fly Bondi from Ushuaia to El Calafate. Then I read that it's not very reliable, but fingers crossed they will deliver on the day. And then we're doing some internal flights to the Lake District.
To Bariloche, etc.
Yeah.
One of the most frustrating things actually was the Aerolíneas Argentinas. Again, terrible Spanish pronunciation, but still, their website won't accept postcodes that have a space in them. So we spent ages. We spent about 3 hours trying to book a flight, and then realised that that it was.
Then we googled it.
Yeah, and then we googled it and realised that was a problem. So definitely make sure you don't put a space in your postcodes.
And be careful which. Air Bondi didn't seem to like Bondi Fly didn't seem to like Chrome, but we got there in the end. So we're hoping it might be easier once we're actually there to book a few things. We've obviously got a VPN for security with Surfshark. We're not sponsored, but hey, and then we're just going to play it by ear, see how it goes, and just see how the budget goes.
And what we're hoping is that you'll follow, like, subscribe, and follow our journey. Neither of us have got a particularly strong social media expertise, but we hope we'll get better at that along the way.
Well, we're going to be on Instagram and TikTok, which let's see how that goes. Oh yeah, and this is going to go on YouTube as well.
So follow us, like us, subscribe, and you can follow how we take our reels across the world.